William exposes Has and Meg's true villain face for racist bullying after Meghan's Oprah claim. Before we start, please, like this video, subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon, thanks. Meghan and Harry's claims on Oprah following the criticism. Prince William spoke about racism in Britain at the revealing of the National Monument at London's Waterloo Station today. Peter Hunt, a former correspondent and presenter, wrote on Twitter, "A royal calling out racism, Prince William at the unveiling of a national monument to the Windrush generation." Users were quick to share their thoughts, with one person, under the name Faithful Radical, writing, "The irony. It comes after the Duke and Duchess of Sussex made claims during their controversial interview with Oprah in March 2021 that Meghan had been subjected to racism while living in the UK. After stepping down as senior royals, the pair moved to California last year to start new lives. Meghan claimed several conversations happened within the royal family about how dark their baby, Archie's skin, might be, during the interview, that was watched by entire world. She said, "In those months when I was pregnant, there were concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he was born." The Duchess told how the comments were made to husband Prince Harry, with the pair refusing to name who said it. Harry continued, "That conversation, I am never going to share. At the time it was awkward, I was a bit shocked." Prince William spoke at the unveiling today, as he and Kate Middleton attended the event. The Duke of Cambridge said racism remains all too familiar for black people in the UK. He added black people are still facing racism and discrimination in modern-day Britain. The unveiling of the 12-feet statue, showing a man, woman and child in their Sunday best standing on top of suitcases, was unveiled to mark Windrush Day. The Duke and Duchess attended to help celebrate the dreams and courage of the Windrush generation who came to Britain to help the nation rebuild after the Second World War. William talked about how the nation would be poorer without their efforts and how he and Kate had learned a lot on their recent tour of the Caribbean. He added, "We know without question that the Windrush generation has made our culture richer, our services stronger, and our fellow countrymen safer. Sadly, that is also the case for members of the Windrush generation who were victims of racism when they arrived here, and discrimination remains an all too familiar experience for black men and women in Britain in 2022. Only a matter of years ago, tens of thousands of that generation were profoundly wronged by the Windrush scandal. That rightly reverberates throughout the Caribbean community here in the UK as well as many in the Caribbean nations. Therefore, alongside celebrating the diverse fabric of our families, our communities and our society as a whole, something the Windrush generation has contributed so much to, it is also important to acknowledge the ways in which the future they sought and deserved has yet to come to pass. Diversity is what makes us strong, and it is what reflects the modern, outward-looking values that are so important to our country." Buckingham Palace previously said the claim was concerning but it would be addressed privately. In a statement, the palace said recollections may vary but that the Sussexes would always be much-loved family members. Following World War II, exactly 74 years ago, the Empire Windrush ship arrived in London, bringing the first of hundreds of thousands of people who came to Britain between 1948 and 1971 to help reconstruct the country. However, in 2018, Britain apologized for its shocking management of the Windrush generation, after a tightening of immigration policy meant thousands were denied basic rights despite having lived in Britain for decades, and dozens were wrongly deported. "Without you all, Britain would simply not be what it is today," Prince William, Queen Elizabeth's grandson, said at the unveiling of the National Windrush Monument at London's Waterloo Station. "I want to say a profound thank you to every member of that generation, and the generations that have followed." The Queen also issued a statement to thank the Windrush pioneers, while Senior Minister Michael Gove said the government was sorry for its mistakes. "Words cannot make up for the hurt and anguish caused, but lessons have been learned," he said. Many of those who came to Britain found jobs in the National Health Service or with public transportation but were also victims of racism, as Prince William acknowledged. "Discrimination remains an all too familiar experience for black men and women in Britain in 2022, he said. William and his wife Kate's own tour to the Caribbean in March was overshadowed by protests over Britain's role in slavery, and criticism that it reflected a throwback to colonial times. "Our trip was an opportunity to reflect, and we learnt so much," he said. Not just about the different issues that matter most to the people of the region, but also how the past weighs heavily on the present. Only a matter of years ago, tens of thousands of that generation were profoundly wronged by the Windrush scandal. That rightly reverberates throughout the Caribbean community here in the UK as well as many in the Caribbean nations. Thanks for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comment. Thanks.